Thank you for dropping by. We now offer this simple, affordable, rugged, Wi-Fi controllable landscape lighting transformer, created by our frontline team after listening to hundreds of suggestions from our customers. This is what our customers told us they want in a landscape transformer. It had to be simple, really simple, and reliable, something they can install without help. And if they have one, it has to work with their existing home automation system without downloading special software. And if they change their home automation system, it'll still work with that one too. They did not want to download an app to their phone just to control landscape lighting. Our commercial customers wanted maximum flexibility without callbacks. Simple is the word here. Everyone wanted an option to use a simple timer. They wanted that timer to be easy to replace in seconds if it should fail, by anyone and without tools, and be available at their home improvement store and be inexpensive. They did not want an internal lithium battery and a digital timer, because when that fails, and it will, the entire transformer is useless. We have a separate video on this, if you're interested. They wanted to have a heavy-duty, optional photo cell that plugs in, working independently, but still part of their system control. They did not want a cheap, no-name brand, flimsy one that no one can replace if it's broken or lost. And some wanted the transformer to work with just a simple wall switch and no other frills. They all wanted a stainless steel case, simple to plug in, with an ultra-long-lasting magnetic transformer that is not susceptible to lightning and power failures. They wanted it to be rust and corrosion resistant. They wanted the feed wires going out to the light fixtures to be easy to connect, so we went for simple connections. And probably addressing one of the most common requests, they wanted to know when the transformer was working in a simple, straightforward way without getting a voltage meter out to figure it out or calling a contractor just to check it. And they wanted a reasonable price. We think our new transformer addresses these issues and more. The TLS 100-UNV, the simplest, longest lasting, and most versatile landscape lighting transformer ever made. I'm going to address what you'll see when you open the box the transformer comes in. Our new transformer comes in a box that looks just like this. And inside you're going to find it packed very, very well. This is called Ethafoam, and it has Ethafoam padding. Inside the box you'll find that the power cable is usually wrapped in a bubble wrap bag. And over here on the side are some general instructions, as well as some screws and fittings so you can mount on the wall. Inside the bag is a really important QR code. That's it right there. If you put your telephone on that, your smartphone, you can scan that and it'll open up all the instructions and all the details and all the videos for this transformer. So let's put that aside and let's look at the rest. So I'm going to take this, you can see it's a stainless steel box in here. It's very robust. I'm going to take this box and flip it over. Just makes it easier. And here's the cord. I'm going to flip it back. I'm going to take the bag off the cord. And now you can get an idea of what it looks like. Take the end foam pieces off. And I'll give you a tour here of what you can see. So it's a stainless steel box. It has two little screws, one on each side. You got to watch out. Sometimes these little screws may fall somewhere inside the box. It loosened itself up. Usually this doesn't happen, but it can. So I'm going to loosen up the other side just because. So let's look at the box. There's a knockout like this on each side. You can see it here. That's knockouts for options. There's one on this side for the photo cell. There's 4 on the bottom, and there's an access cover. It's plastic. Undo the screws on each side. There's one here and here. Just loosen them, don't take them all the way out, and that will allow you to flip this cover up, slide it out of position, and flip it over. On this side also you'll find the QR code, which is right here, and that brings you to all kinds of information, and general information is right here, as well as the ETL label, which is very, very important. This transformer is rated for both indoor and outdoor use, so if you want to mount it in your garage, you're good to go. So basically it's a heavy gauge stainless steel. It's not lightweight at all. It's corrosion and rust resistant, and we did this because our customers asked for it. It's indescript. It'll mount on your wall somewhere outside your house in the bushes, and I don't think anyone will bother it there. So now with the cover open, we did mention the cord. The cord's about 5 feet long. More details, of course, on our website. It varies a little bit, but generally it's 5 feet long. It goes in the bottom here. A couple of things I want you to notice still with the case is this little notch here. And this notch allows you to take your landscape wire and actually bring it out the notch if you don't want to use the knockouts in the bottom. And that's why they did that. And that's why that notch there exists. So this is a wire that I pre-wired. I'm going to show you a little bit more on that in just a second. So I want to talk about the inside plug and the inside socket, as well as the indicator lights. So inside the unit is a plug and socket. So here's the plug. It's a right angled plug, and it's made to go in this socket. It is set up so it has polarity. You can see one side of the plug is a little larger than the other. The socket's positioned carefully for Wi-Fi devices, so your home automation system can work in this. And we have a very detailed video on how to make it work and how to test it. So I'm going to plug this back in here for now. That's where it usually lives. And I want to note there's 2 indicator lights here. Indicator lights are really, really important. It's because of all the questions we've got over the years regarding whether or not the transformer is working properly. When you plug the unit in, as long as this is here, when you plug the unit in, it'll tell you right away if we have 120 volts coming to the unit, regular household current. So with that light on and this plugged in, you're good to go. The second light you're going to look for is the output light. If the second light's on, that means you're generating 12 volts, and there's 12 volts coming down here to the terminal bus. And I'm going to reposition here in a minute so you can see down in here. Also inside the housing is a photo cell plug, and this little device unplugs. It's a jumper. It needs to be in place when you're running this without a photo cell. And the photo cell would attach here on the right side to the knockout. There's the knockout down there, you might be able to see. And it'll plug into this position. It's already pre-wired to do that. So that's an important thing there too. There's, of course, very simple design here. There's no electronics in this package. There's nothing to fry. There's no lithium batteries or anything like that. And if you want to see transformers and the problems they have with lithium batteries, you'll be able to access our website and see why you don't want that. Hopefully I've positioned the transformer up a little bit so you can see the angle here inside. And I want to show you some other features that are really, really important. So down here is a reset button. And this pops out a little bit when you have a short in your landscape lighting line somewhere. So if that button's out, that means it's not producing electricity, then your lights aren't working. So the test for that is to remove your landscape lighting wire that's going out to the field. Remove it here. Push the button back in and see if the lights come back on and if you're producing electricity. If when you put this back on, it pops out again, you have a short out in the field, and that needs to be addressed. And we can talk about that in our other videos, and we do. Also, while I have this up in position, I want to talk about the access plastic part in the bottom. There's a plastic part right in here, and I'm going to take my screwdriver, and there's these little nubs on this thing. You just press them out, and the little plastic guy flips out. Now sometimes while it's in there, and here's the little 2 things I pressed on right here. I just pressed them in with my screwdriver. It popped right out. They might be sideways like this, or even upside down. Just take it and rotate it inside, press those down, it'll pop out. There's 2 sets of them. There's 2 here, and there's 2 here. You only need to press on 2 of them to get it out. Very, very simple. What that does is it allows me to put my fingers in here, which makes the whole process a lot easier for dealing with the terminal bus. See, I can grab the wires and I can adjust accordingly. So I want to talk a little bit more about the terminals. We chose this terminal block because it's incredibly simple and easy to see. And there's a lot of things out there that are really fancy. They add more cost. They're not required. They're difficult to use or what have you. This is just plain simple. And you can see here that I've terminated my landscape wires, common and 12 volt, going out to my landscape lights out in the field, terminated them here, and they're very secure. They're gonna stay in here. They're not gonna get loose as long as you originally tighten them down good. and there's not too many problems. So let me take these out while we're talking about the terminals. I'm going to take them again, reach my fingers in here. Look how easy that was. So here they are, and these little terminal guys are included in your kit here, and they'll come. They're going to put them in the box when it ships. You're going to strip your wire back. You can kind of see where I've stripped it back there maybe. You're going to put it in here and crimp it shut. Here's the crimper that I got at Harbor Freight. It's really basic. It's good for crimping. It's not my favorite for stripping, but it works. You strip down here and you crimp up here. I do have some kind of nicer tools, but this works. You don't need to go spend $1 million on something to make landscape lighting work. So they're connected here. And this is important. We get asked all the time. You can put more than one set. So you can run this out, say, to the front yard and run another one out to the side yard and another one out to the backyard. And as long as you don't exceed 100 watts, everything's going to be fine. Now, there is a 15 volt option here where you would run it this way if you're running really long loads out there in the field and you need a little extra voltage boost. Now, we have a video on landscape lighting voltage loss where we did a real field test and we addressed this 15 volt. I don't want you to connect to it right away. I want you to always start with the 12 in common, and then if you have voltage loss at the first light fixture, you're going to move to 15 volts like I have it wired here. So please take a look at that video. It really goes into some really good detail. And again, take that wire, route it through here, take your plastic plug, put it back in. It just snaps in place. Really simple. We built this transformer to be simple and to be kind of foolproof, but still have the options, and you'll see them in the next video, of a timer, a photocell, and a Wi-Fi device so you can control it with your existing home automation system. And finally, with the cover back on, and it just slides into place, again, keeping the simple thing. As you can see here, it has heavy-duty mounting brackets so you can mount this securely up against your house or wherever you need to put it. In this third segment, we show you the details of our TLS-100 UNV. We show you how to test the unit as soon as you get it, and some troubleshooting if it's not working properly after you mount it outside and connect it up. It's just one video in a series of videos to help you understand the unit and make it easy to use in your landscape lighting design. This is a video about testing your transformer right out of the box, right when you first get it. It's always good to check it out. There's no variables, it's just the transformer. The second part of this video will be how to check this transformer after it's already mounted and been working for a while. So let's first open the cover. You only require a screwdriver. There's 2 screws here on the sides. Just loosen the screws, take the cover off. Inside the cover, you'll find some instructions as well as a QR code that takes you to our website, which is constantly updated with all kinds of really cool information on troubleshooting, landscape lighting, videos of projects, pretty much everything you want. I'm going to take a quick tour through the unit and show you a couple of things I'd like to call your attentions to. So this is a plug-in socket. There's the socket. There's the plug. We're going to be referring to these here in a little bit. There's 2 indicator lights up here. I'll use my screwdriver to point them out. Indicator light input and indicator light output. Output means the unit's working and making 12 volts. That can run out to your landscape lighting system. There's a little jumper plug. This plug is removed when a photocell is used. A photocell goes in this hole right here. I'm going to just put a clip here, keep the wire out of the way of the camera. Down here are the terminal blocks. There's 2 sets of screws. You can see them here. This is the top set and the lower set. The top set you should never touch. Don't unscrew the top set. All your terminations will happen on the lower set. And then over here is the circuit breaker. And when it comes new right out of the factory, you're going to put your thumb on it and go, well, that's kind of loose. That's good. That's a good thing. When this isn't loose and it's kind of pushing out, that means the circuit's tripped. We're going to tackle that in this next segment of this video. So there's the tour of the inside, and like I said, I just pulled it out of the box. I am going to plug it in and see if it works. First, I'm going to undo this plug just for demonstration purposes. So I'm going to plug the unit in, and the first thing I'm going to notice is the input light just went on. What does that tell us? That tells us that the unit's plugged in. It tells me there's power in this extension cord, 120 volts. It's passing through this plug going into the unit. So right now this unit has 120 volts in it. It's not doing anything yet though. It's not going to do anything until I take this plug and send that power to the actual transformer that's behind this box. With this plugged in, power is going to the transformer. It's being dropped from 120 volts down to 12 volts. The output indicator light is now on. The unit's now making 12 volts. 12 volts is coming down here to the terminals, and you're ready to go. It's as simple as that. Question: is this transformer working? Answer: yes, both green lights are on. It is working, there's no doubt. This is the simple transformer without any variables. What are the variables? They are as follows. There's a timer variable that can be plugged into the center. There's a photocell that can be added. And there's a whole array of Wi-Fi devices that plug into this unit. For example, this one's made by Leviton, obviously, and it also plugs into the socket. And we're going to address this in a separate video, but we wanted to show you what to do when you get it out of the box and how to test it with no variables installed. All right, here's a little closer look of a transformer with two variables. It has a timer and a photocell installed. And I can look down at my little green lights, and the first light is on. It's green. It's telling me that there is power coming from the property into the power cord and into the transformer unit. So I do have voltage here. If this little light wasn't on, that means it's not plugged in, or the circuit it's coming from isn't working, or there's a problem upstream. So I have it plugged in, and I know with that green light that I got power right here. Now the second light, the output light, is not on. This unit is not producing 12 volts. There is a problem. So to find the problem, we want to remove variables. So I'm going to unplug the unit just for safety reasons. There's no power coming in, and I'm going to remove variables. The first variable I'm going to remove is this photocell. This timer. Got ahead of myself. I'm going to take the plug, I'm going to plug it in the socket. The timer is gone. I'm going to unplug the photocell. Isn't it nice? They just plug in. I'm going to just put the wire up here. I'm going to put my jumper back. The jumper's got to be here. Remember the jumper with the little wire on top that I put the clothespin on so it would be out of the way so you can kind of see inside the transformer box. All right. Now, before I turn this on, before, I'm going to come down here and check two things. One, I'm going to check the breaker and make sure that it didn't pop. Okay, no, it's good, kind of loose, so it's not out, so it's not a breaker problem. The power going from the unit, 12 volts, out through the wire is still connected. This may be the problem. There may be a short somewhere outside on the run. So I am going to come in here with my screwdriver, and I'm going to remove the load. Basically, I'm taking the transformer back to when you got it brand new. So jumper's in, plugs in the socket, photocell's disconnected, timer mechanism's gone. I'm going to plug the unit in. The first light comes on. It tells me it has 120 volts. The second light comes on, tells me 12 volts, tells me it's working. What this tells me is the transformer works with the variables removed. So the problem was possibly the timer, possibly the photocell, or possibly there's a short out in the field. If there's a short out on the field, most likely this little circuit breaker would have popped and you'd have to push it in. It's a great indicator if there's a problem in the field. In our next video, we're going to go into a lot of detail about the timer, the photocell, and if you're using a Wi-Fi device as a variable. The Wi-Fi devices are easily installed. They work really, really good. And we're going to show you how all that comes together and again, how to check it. And at this link, you'll find all the specs, all the other videos, and how to test, install, and work with photocells, timers, and Wi-Fi devices, and how to put your entire system together. Together, we can make your landscape lighting magical. We're a small family business and hope that no matter where you shop, you consider buying from a small business. We are Total Lighting Supply, and we know lighting. We've been doing it for 30 years plus. Thanks for watching our video. If you have any questions on our products, please feel free to ask us. Use this email address for quick communication. Support@totallightingsupply.com. We answer product questions all day long, Monday through Friday. However, if you ask questions on YouTube, it may be some time before we see it. Our videos are designed as an overview of our products, and we recommend hiring a qualified electrician for your project to ensure a safe installation. And as always, see the description for links to our website. See the product description on our website for important details, as well as updates and specifications. Also, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any new product information. We offer information, such as this video, and a level of service you will not find anywhere else. Consider using us for your project needs. All of us at Total Lighting Supply hope to hear from you soon.